Welcome in. Greetings, 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 greetings with some love, wholeness, sincerity, integrity, which all mean wholeness. We're bringing ourselves into wholeness. Wholeness, wholeness, wholeness. From fragmented to becoming whole. Finding all the parts of self, right? Getting acquainted with them, realizing and remembering our experience. I hope you guys have been liking this series that we've started with the with all the clairs. We got 9 clairs to cover. We're going to get into what do we do. We did 1 through 4, so we're going to do 5 and 6 today. How'd you like the Robert Seffer with Luciferian? The Luciferian definitely. The Luciferian, what was it called? The Luciferian doctrine of the Luciferian doctrine. A little different take. Sarah came all energy, alchemy. His take was even getting us to Rome and talking about some of the different sites historically. How about being into that he started out with the Red Cross, right? The what are they called? I can't remember their name off the hand. They were hired for war by the Catholic Church because the Catholic Church was not having much success with the Muslims in the wars, in their so-called holy wars. That can definitely be changed as far as what's. But anyways, because they were esoteric understanders, not exoteric. They said Rome was exoteric in what they taught the people. So they ended up saying that you can't teach initiations. You're either initiated or profane. And I keep saying here, and I don't want to use that word profane, but we don't. And you've heard me say over and over, trying to teach initiated knowledge to the uninitiated. It's not good. And maybe in their behavior they'd say I'd be profane for teaching them that, because they're not in the place to receive it, or not even know it, or don't, because they're in the exoteric field, which would be in the talking also about when you talk about outer courts, holy place, inner court, and the outer court, which would be all esoteric and exoteric. Hanging outside of yourself, thinking the kingdom's actually just outside of you, when it's always been taught in that it's start with the end. Everything else works for you from within first. But anyways, we're going to get back to those great clairs, and we're going to start in on them. A little bit of the scheduling we're going to do this. We're doing 5 and 6. We'll do 7 and 8 will follow. I will break with another video that I'm going to share, a really good one too, similar but different than the one we just seen. And then we'll do the 9th one, gets to stand alone. The 9th clair gets to have it's the whole platform that day. So that's the next let me see, after this one, three episodes. That's what they'll be after this one. But anyways, let's get back to the clair. The clairs. And all right. So we already did intellect, right? That was the last ones we did. Claircognizance. That was the 3 and 4. Clairaudience and clairvoyance. This was 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So we're going to go back down where I was at, past the intellect, and we're going to go into the right here, clairempathy, and then the next one even is clairsentience, I believe. And that's kind of where we're going to start. So we'll start first with the clairempathy. Now this is one that went with my knowledge of what I knew this would be one I hadn't heard of, because I said in the past I did the 6. This would be one of the 6 that I have not And we're doing I've been recording all day, so these last 3 videos, this being the 4th with this same shirt on. It's not that I haven't taken the shirt off for 4 days, it's the same recording day. So I'm going to do something different. What I'm doing here is getting a little bit hot in here. I'm going to turn on my air if you guys don't mind, and we'll get started. Okay. All right. So Clairempathy. I say Clairempath. I see empathy, which I'm already thinking empath, which definitely I do write that one too. I like what Sarah had said about the empaths. Empaths can gaslight them own selves sometimes with the things they feel. That's a fact too. It could the negative, but it's definitely needed. So clairempathy, or a clear emotion sensing other people's emotions, thoughts, or symptoms. It is an awareness of emotional energy. Example, others crying might make you cry. I am that, but also, I'm going to read farther because this makes sense. The last thing here I see here, because this is where I would see it at before. In an awareness of emotional energies, as an example, others crying might make you cry. It is important as a clairpath to understand how to balance your empathy. Definitely, this is a tough one. That's why I even made the statement about empaths can gaslight themselves sometimes with feelings, of with your empathic feelings, and the knowledge that comes to you as truth. For me, it's like seeing others cry won't make me cry, but if I found out why they're crying and I feel it deep within the empathic, or this other word, which was going to be the next Claire, I definitely want to see the distinguish from this one and the one before, because I thought the one before would not. That's why I thought there wasn't this. But I guess there might be a hairline difference, just a little bit of difference here that signifies the difference of the next one. And here, let's go. Make you cry. It is important as a Claire empath to understand how to balance your empathy, how to take on the stuff of other people or walk into energy fields. The difference between Claire empath and sentience is empath senses the emotion and sentience physically feels it. Okay, definitely. Let me read that top part again. The difference is the empath and sentience. Empath senses the emotion, sentience physically feels. But also, I guess I had the combo, because definitely I would say I was a clairsentience. Definitely am an empath, so I'll definitely ride this one too. I just thought the empath would be more the sentience, because when I go, because I'm distinguishing, I've never seen the clairempathy before, or empath before. This is one of the 3 new ones that I said I had never really knew before. When I taught this, there was only 6. Now there's 9. Here's the second one of the ones I've never really knew or experienced before right here. So we can definitely see that they're going to feel the symptoms of the emotions. It's really in the thoughts and the symptoms. Definitely, I can see a little bit with the sentience now makes sense, because I could definitely feel it. I won't cry because of others crying, but if I know why they are and I feel it, I sense it, right? I can. Always can definitely prescribe. I mean, it was part of me spiritually in ministry, and even working with people, and even in healing aspects of this was very important for this. And even counseling was to be able to have this aspect of having it. And the word Claire is always connected to the word clear. That's what the word Claire is in this, in the language, would mean clear. So it means you have a clearness of these gifts. There's a clearness that you know it's not clouded, it's not misunderstood. You clearly know when you're operating and when this function's happening to you. You're very, very, that's why I said if you have it and you're trying to fight it, don't fight it. The more you experience it, the more it will become a Claire to you, because your experience of it, you'll know when it is and when it kicks in, and what it is when it happens, and you will know when you experience it, and how you experience it and what you get out of the experience, right? You will know. So when I see this, it's like walking the energy fields. Gosh darn, I had felt this just like a week ago when I went to this function, and man, this energy of the group of people that was there was jumping off the table, and it was definitely very, very, very much alive and well. And I had to really go into discernment, and because it was powerful in the way that it wasn't a great function of it. It was more a deterrent or detriment to everybody there. It was almost like an attacking energy, but it wasn't really attacking. It was more trying to spread on everybody to bring them into this place of division. And I definitely had seen it. I had seen it in action. I had witnessed it and felt it, being the empath that I was, and I seen how it was walking through the energy field. And I quickly understood this energetic field going here is very, very thick. And so, yeah, it makes sense to me completely how this would definitely. So this is more towards the emotions, sensing the other's emotions or thoughts or symptoms. Knowing when you walk in that energy field that you would experience this, because you're such an empathic, clear empathic, that you know clear at exactly where it's going to and where it's starting, and who's the cause or what's the cause or the root, whatever's needed for healing, or just to observe if you can't really make a difference with the people at the time of where they're really bathing in it and bouncing off one another in it and trying to bounce off you with it. And then you kind of really see the difference of it. And I like that it's telling the difference between the sentience and is feeling and in the empath. So yeah, I would have put this with sentience before, because I thought that would cover all of it before. Because definitely sentience is even now sentience for me, I guess would be definite. Clairsentience is a clear physical feeling. You actually feel the physical feeling in your body that others are experiencing. Yes, definitely. For years, and it's this is very powerful. It works a lot on me. I feel this, experience it quite often. Feeling your body that others are experiencing. Examples: if someone's having a stomach ache, you may feel either the pain of the sensation in your stomach. You might be able to feel the emotional inquiries that they're also may manifest. And see, there's talking about feel the emotional. That emotional was with the empathy, and that's why I tied them all into this before, because there was no empath when I kind of went through this. Now that they've added the empath, or the three they've added one of that, I would have put that empathic with this clairsentience, because you're just a sentient being, period. You should be able to feel empathic and feel sorry for people, or feel their pain, or feel what they're going through. And it can be very powerful at times, where it's like, it's very, this is very powerful ESP, because think about it. Somebody's going through something or having problems. You feel their pain, but you didn't experience what they experienced, but you feel it. Because it could be emotional, it could be mental, but you feel it and you know it, but you didn't go through what they went through to feel what they're feeling and going through. You don't really feel that, and you're not going through that. That makes any sense. You're not really coming through you're getting it and feeling it, but you didn't experience it like they experience it, which is showing you there's no boundaries to what you can connect to through your energetic field. And this clairsentience is that feeling of the clear feeling in your body others are experiencing, definitely, in the sensation, whether they you may feel emotional inquiries when you manifest in the body. So actually, a lot of this is true. It's a very thin line between me and empathy and sentience to me. Even the last thing says, well, you may be able to feel emotional injuries that may manifest, or hurt arm, or hurt ankle, or like you said, a stomach, a shoulder, whatever it may be, or within eternal organ, or eternal pain, or an outside one. You may feel that. I knew the sentience. So these two to me are very thin lined. It's actually talking emotional and sentience, which was, to me, the empathic was saying it was emotional. So very, very thin line on this. I get it, but I can see it may be not having the other one because this one was here, but that's fine. I mean, I get it. There is a thin line of difference. They differentiate, even though they're talking about feelings here and emotions in the sentience too. But anyways, now my question is, so far this is the sixth one we went through out of the 9 right here. If you have these experiences, share them in the comments, talk about them. We want to create that kind of dialogue. If you've had these experiences, to be able to talk about it, to be able to participate with it, to be able to not block it. If some of you are having these and not blocking them, allowing them to spring forth by even allowing the practice. If you get the nudge, but you try to dismiss it or not sure, the more you practice it like anything else and get used to it, the more you're going to know it and trust it. And then it will even be given to you more because you're trusting yourself and your higher self with the gifts of ESP that you got. So clairsentience and clairempathy, definitely the 5th and 6th parts of this. And yeah, anybody else use it, have it, raise your hands, write a note, a comment, inquire of it if there's some of these you want. If you want all of them, inquire of it. What are you going to do with it once you know it, and how is it going to be used for you would be my question. Knowing this is for ministry, this is for an awakening, this is for usage, this is for being really clear, because all the clairs mean clear. Whether it's clairvoyance, clairsentience, the clair in the language, I believe it's from French, actually means clear, like you're seeing things clearly. Everything's getting more clear to you. Part of the awakening of this alchemical journey is to be more clear as you raised from 3D and above, is to be more clear, have a clarity, and as you get more clear, you're not wishing, thinking, maybe a second guessing yourself, because you're operating and you're getting the clear information that you know it's clear. So this is, one that we really went in on. Like I said, the clairempathy, I had never heard of. Clairsentience, definitely. This one is the one that's really, this one here is really the one that's really picked up steam as being used more often and coming to me as a clairsentience. Just having the feeling within my body that I know. The feeling gives me the I know. I know that you have a problem with your knee. I know that you have some problems with maybe an internal organ. I do feel your pain, which may be the empathy, but even here is talking about emotions and the clairsentience. So it's a very thin line between them two. If you never told me about empathy, I would put the empathy part with the sentience before. But they've distinguished a difference in them slightly. I get it, and it's okay. And definitely, both of them could work together, I could see, because they're very thin line from each other, but maybe more vast as it spreads out and you get more clarity on it to use it for whatever reason you would use it, to help other people, to help yourself, to whatever it would be, to enlighten other people who may have these gifts also, but are trying. You might know people who are shunning them, and you're like, I got to get you to see these videos, because the very thing you're pushing away is the very thing that you need. It's your gift being awakened in you. It's being activated in you, and you're worried about it, and you don't trust it, and you're trying to push it away. I've seen this with people sensing spirits and not having. And then when I kind of got to know them or heard the story of them, and as they start talking, I realized they didn't have any knowledge. But they had the gift, but no knowledge, and they were actually praying to take it away. That's actually no knowledge, right? You wouldn't, if you knew, you wouldn't be doing that. Anyways, yeah. So we're gonna go into, let's go out of here for this page for a second. The stop share. All right. So yeah, that's definitely a good one. So we've been through 6 of them already. They're very powerful. They're very not. This is stuff that it's part of your inheritance, but you have to be awakened to know it. These parts of your higher self is your future self. It's walking it, it's believing it, it's knowing it. It's like reflecting to you, just to allow yourself to have your growth and to have your activations, and then the trusting that when these things happen, that what you're talking about is precise, because it's so clear. It's so clear that it cuts to the exact knife line, right? It's clear. The clairs mean clear. You clearly absorb it and know it's not muffled in maybe hodgepodge, or maybe kind of seems like. No, you're clear on what the message is that you're receiving in the enlightenment. But anyways, we're done with it with this one. Not as long, and some of these may not be. I mean, we can touch on them definitely later when they come out. Your interaction, we'll see if we need to even go deeper in it. But anyways, you guys have a great day. Share, like, subscribe. Please share, like, and subscribe.